Dang.
Now we're live.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that fan thing, the last one.
That's not the. That's just the AC. It shouldn't be as bad.
No, but the last one I had to go in there and do some of the clips. I still need to go and fix the long audio.
The fans are
Alright,
that
guys.
strong, huh?
So we're live, but we're gonna let these people.
All right, it's good times. Y'all want to share it under my name on the Facebook, my family.
Oh,
Yeah, share it on your Facebook.
I'm pretty sure Michael's going to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe Beth.
I thought you were talking about
Maybe Robbie.
Michael.
Robbie might watch you.
Here we are. Okay.
How do I do that?
Just click on my name. Is my phone by you?
Yeah.
Do I have my phone?
All right.
Okay, are you sitting on my phone? I don't know. Just go to my name and it lights up live.
All right. And I just share it.
Yep.
That's right. I just saw it. Just literally.
Couch probably ate my phone.
That's one of those couches.
Call it.
This right there
That's
on the black box.
Oh, I saw his phone.
Oh,
There.
yeah.
I was looking at Kate.
It's on the black box.
Both y'all have.
Mm.
Okay, your screen's not busted. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't.
I was looking
I always
at
keep
Kate's.
mine in a case.
Busted.
I'm gonna share it, y'all, and tag it too for y'all. This is exciting though. D-Ville in the house.
I'm so excited.
This is really.
Remember Jesse? Anybody from Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grew up on that.
Such a great scene.
Saved by the Bell. Good throwback.
It's all
Love Saved
right.
by the Bell.
You know they try to relaunch it.
It's.
Did they really?
Yeah.
How can you relaunch
I
them
feel
when
like
they were in high
that's all.
school?
That's all everybody did when they first woke up in the morning. You watch. You gotta say about it.
You knew you were either
About
late
30
for
minutes.
school or yeah, like
Yeah, you got.
And then California Dreams would come on like right after Saved by the Bell after school. I forgot what the other one was.
Gotta bring your mic up.
Jesse was on.
I would watch Saved by the Bell, California Dreams,
uh,
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Trying to think of what else. Those were like my go-tos. Like I was definitely throwing the
Family
fit.
Matters.
Yeah, I would watch that one too.
like,
Yeah,
shows
Family
you
Matters
different-
for me.
That's after you got off the bus or you got.
How about TRL? Have you heard of that?
No. Boy Meets World was my favorite.
Boys World?
All day, every day.
So
TRL is
Same
MTV.
time.
TRL, Carson Daly.
Carson.
Oh, I do remember
That's when
that.
you got to see videos that you knew how to go get a CD. You knew you had to get that CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Jesse from Saved by the Bell was actually on the Love Boat too. Old school, like Tom Hanks and a bunch of them. And so long.
What was that guy's what was his name? What's his name? The actor's name.
And then
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Jesse.
you got to see her in.
I can see his face.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I know who you're talking about.
Who am I thinking of? When did Jesse get naked? What movie was that?
I don't.
Stripper?
Ooh, it was stripped. Yeah, it was stripped.
It's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
It
it
was
was. Yeah, yeah. 'cause
striptease.
It was a big deal with
When it's striptease?
It was
It's
what?
actually a good movie though.
It wasn't as like raunchy as like they.
No, it was
it
just
wasn't really
rest,
raunchy.
like-
Who was the it was,
Stamos. His last name's Stamos.
but what's who?
John Stamos?
John?
Yeah, that's Jesse, right?
Oh no, we're talking about Jesse. Like we're talking about the girl that was in striptease.
Oh my gosh, I went to Full House.
Yeah,
Never
with the
mind.
curly hair.
I was thinking of the
I was
show
like-
that
I forgot
Topanga's
about-
in, like the what was it?
Boy Meets World.
No, I was thinking.
Boy Meets World.
The GI. Who was the?
Boy Meets
Yeah,
World.
Jane.
Yeah.
Who's the Lopez guy
was
that's like on TV?
No, you're
What's her
thinking
name?
of,
Who?
Oh, Ashton Kutcher's.
I know people in the
Mila?
chat. Tell us if you
Kunis?
know.
Dude, we all know, but
Help! Help us!
There's been too many conversations. Now I'm lost.
No, I mean this is how this rolls.
There's too many
It's
people.
literally a bonfire. to be
I don't
honest
know
with
who we're talking about anymore.
I forgot her name.
Who?
We're thinking of this girl.
I'm good with names. Tell me.
G.I.
G.I. Jane.
Demi Moore?
Demi Moore.
There you go.
Oh,
Wasn't
Uh-huh.
she maybe the mentor in that movie or something?
I don't know.
I never saw the movie,
That was
but I
all-
just know that's
that
her.
was like yeah.
Old
Well, she was
school.
in that though.
all
Wasn't
right. Well,
I
we're gonna hit
don't
on some
remember.
ads.
That
real-
The movie Old
years
School?
ago.
she? She did it later.
Are we going there now? Is this a movie podcast? What are we doing?
All right, we're gonna go straight to ads real quick, and then we're gonna get into the show. And then halfway through the show, we're going straight movie trivia. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's go into the shit, I forgot how to do this.
Dude, Paige is winning all day long.
Let's go right here.
Paige, you were me and you at the same age. So
I know.
All right, the
I get
District Coffee
embarrassed
Company.
The old fogies.
Okay, Oliver Scott Insurance, Collision Depot, Beach and Cuts, Direct Auto, Captain Owls, Marty Wilson, Forever Young, and that's where we're at.
Forever young.
Mabry,
Now back to-
fine wine and spirits.
Now we're back to the show. We got them. Go ahead and introduce who y'all are. Start with you first.
All right. Well, my name is Christine Merrill, formerly Christine Kozlowski. I am from here, from D'Iberville. Went to D'Iberville kindergarten through 12th grade. And I mean, I feel like I could go on about specifically what I am, but I'm going to pass it to you, babe.
My name's Sean Merrill. Also been here outside of playing ball in college. I've been here my whole life, so like 30-something years, 37 years. Entrepreneur. Started in that lane when I was in my early 20s, and so that's kind of what we've been doing. And Christine, entrepreneur. So I guess I don't know. That conversation has a lot of layers to it. So
Talk about some of your recent adventures in like Oxford and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. So back, I guess, when did Josh get married? Was that in October or August?
End of
My
last
buddy
year.
Josh
End of
Berry
last year.
got married and he was in the process of getting married, and that's where I met Jared. I was in Chattanooga, went on a little guys trip, and got an opportunity to go up there with a bunch of great dudes, met a bunch of great guys, and Josh had invited Jared, and so we just connected, and we kind of have a similar spirit, and when a conversation after a few times of interacting came across over the phone, and it was just the perfect timing for us. He was opening up. He was in the process of trying to get the doors open of the Velvet Ditch. There were some other plans that he wanted to expand out in the parking lot to really make that work out there, that business model. And but he needed obviously some help financially, and it just some things kind of fell through, and then we just happened to get on the phone when it happened, when it all fell through, and we were talking about supplements for Christine's, for hand nutrition, and he wanted to get on some multivitamins, and that's how it all started. He wanted me to call him about that, so I called him, and he said, "Look, this is what I got going on up here." And I was like, I asked him how it was going. He said, "This is what's going on. Actually, I'm on the bank. I'm going to the bank now. I'm trying to figure out this, because if we want to be open for football season, we need to make this happen tonight. We got to get approved. We got to move. We got to make this happen. Because if you miss a weekend, you're not missing a couple of dollars. I mean, that could be a 6-figure weekend you lose out on, and there's no way to cover that up. There's another home game maybe until next year, or 2 more. So you got to capitalize with." There's an old saying, when the sun's shining, get the hay in the barn, and so when I met Jared, it was just one of those things. And he said, "Would you be, I said, "Well, what would you give me if I happen to have the money you need?" And he said, "I'll give you this." And I kind of knew what he was trying to do up there. I knew it was a good deal for me. So I checked it out. My sister is a lawyer up there on the square, so it worked out. I was able to kind of go in there and make, Christine and I went to Christine, and she was just like, there was no conversation. I was just like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And she was like, "Let's do it." And it was just like, we kind of jumped all in. And it's been kind of like this wild Cinderella story, man. I mean, today there's, Lane Kiffin just posted on Instagram.
I was gonna say,
staff,
I had some random person passing by today. I was like, you know Sean Merrill? He opened in Oxford,
yeah,
incredible.
And it was just, it's been cool, man, because that whole team, Velvet Ditch, the owners, and just Jared Foster, who's really just kind of, he's kind of like our head coach, and Jared's younger than me, but dang, man, he's got an old soul, and he's been through a lot, and he's got a wild perspective on life, and it's just neat to watch someone chase his dreams so radical and do it with zero fear.
That's awesome.
He if he makes $100,000, he's putting it back into his business, and he don't even. It's not like he's okay. He's like, I'll live the next 10 years under the bridge, but because I'm building another bridge somewhere else,
Are you guys thinking of doing any type of like NIL with like a player or anything like that?
I don't, like I've asked a lot of questions about that stuff, because it's something that's, I believe it's we see it as like this huge thing and all the things, so often in life we go, I've already missed opportunity. Right. And it's kind of gotten so big and out of hand, it's going to probably get more regulated. And I think as it gets more regulated, maybe even other opportunities come.
Right.
Based off like kind of, how to attack it, but yeah, every time I talk to a guy and he even knows anything about it, I kind of inquire about it because it is something that is interesting to me. And now being up there and you're around that, it kind of makes you like, hey, what opportunities are out there and how does that look like 20 years down the road, I told my kid the other day, I was like, man, you could get paid to go to college.
Dude, it's wild.
I knew that NIL existed, but until I talked to a college athlete the other day, I was talking to him. He was like, yeah, I was making like 120 grand a year playing. I was like, dude, what?
There's like some guys that don't want to go to the NFL because they're like, we're making enough money here. Like, we're good, dog.
What do you,
when I was look, it was making $246, I think, every month.
So I want to go into there. I mean, so if you're local here on the coast, Sean was always a dominant football player for D'Iberville, played at Southern Miss. And I mean, you're going for football.
Yeah.
What made you have that switch to become an investor, an entrepreneur? Because that's an leap from like training every day, being at an Eagle to now you're, in a life insurance and all kinds of investments. What made you go, you know what? I'm not going to work for a corporate company. I'm going to start my own.
Well, I think like for me, it wasn't that like I transitioned in my mind. It was like, I had dealt with some major injuries. It didn't really make sense in that season, what was going on. I've had a couple of surgeries. I'm about to have another surgery on my shoulder. And so like for me, I think I was just ready to lose the weight that I was carrying.
How much?
I bought like 310, 315,
Big boy. He was big boy.
I've squat with him before, and I thought I could squat. But no, he at crunch one
He
day,
can still squat.
I think I almost got up to 400 pounds, but he cleared me out.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean that's the, like I feel like
I am feeling that in my lower back.
I feel like
days, by the way.
because I mean honestly, I feel like because I didn't reach what I felt like my potential was in ball. That's how I found entrepreneurship, because I had met this entrepreneur that said, like in life, you usually get two opportunities to be successful. And the first opportunity, you're too young and dumb to know it was an opportunity. And then the second time, you're too busy trying to just make it in life, maybe raising babies, or you got a job that's taking up all your time. And so when I was 25 and I was broke and I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment and I had no money and there was more month than there was cash, I was just thinking, and I found Primerica. For me, it was an opportunity to prove everybody wrong. Like I wasn't just a meathead, right? I knew I could use my mind and my work ethic, and so I feel like with losing the weight and getting into personal training, getting my health and getting all that kind of all correlated. And then when Primerica came, I just took the same discipline and applied it to that. And man, I mean, I was running a financial office behind an abandoning nursing. Like a nursing nursery, for kids. Like the nursery moved out, so I rented a nursery room and ran and grew my organization from there. Because I didn't have any money. It wasn't like corporate office was throwing me some rent cash. I'm saying like my commission was going to provide an office for my guys.
How many years did it take you? And this is something I want to ask you too. But how many years did it take you to actually start seeing some income?
I mean, it's kind of, I guess, like because Primerica is such a unique model. Like I made like 50,000 my first year, but I was putting that money back into like I had an office, and I had to spend a lot of money in gas because back then there was no Zoom, there was no DocuSign. Like you would kneecap the kneecap.
And that was in like 2008 when it was like $4 a gallon.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous, and I had just bought a truck. I bought a truck. Gas was like $2.50. The next week it was $4. I'm like, I literally drove to Gulfport like a week and a half, 2 weeks later. My mom
Pushing that
remembered this.
motherfucker back.
And I'm driving, and I pull up. Look, I got a brand new Tundra, and I pull up in the used car dealership at Honda on 49 Pepex, and they were like, "Oh, I paid $27,000 for the truck," and they were like, "Oh, we'll give you like 17," and I was like, because I was going to trade in for a Honda.
Y'all take this thing back, bro.
Man, I learned such a great lesson because I was like, that's actually how I got in Primerica. I had bought that truck and I was so in over my head. I was making $1,684 a month as a school teacher, and my truck bill was like $1,200. and so I didn't have a choice. So I got into Primerica because I was like, I need to make some.
Yeah, I
extra
love that. That's what I wanted to get into because I remember that story.
Yeah, it scared me to death.
You were hiding your truck in the back, and you didn't use it. You were getting picked up.
So like I was so broke early. An incredible. I had an office. Yeah, for 2 years I parked my truck behind my office because I couldn't afford the gas. It was so expensive. So I would get a carpool to the house. I did that for 2 years. But to me that was an easy sacrifice because I needed the office. The office was
so I have a similar with the. I had a white Jeep Rubicon. I had the same. I know what it was like $800, and this is right when I started Janny King. And the gas, I didn't know gas in a Jeep was like 12, 13 miles a gallon. And I was driving from Pascagoula all the way to Long Beach, like traveling. And I remember my dad was working at Allen Toyota. Remember when I was on Pass Road? I slid in with my Rubicon white. I mean, it was what I wanted. And I traded in on a Scion because it's like the gas was so bad that I wasn't making, even in the fuel, I wasn't making the note. So then that was a sacrifice too. And I always thought that was cool about your story. Now I didn't hide my hand behind the build. I just had a dad in the car business and just brought it up there. This thing had flower hubcaps. First thing I did, pulled the hubcaps off. But that's motivation. That's that's a sacrifice.
Yeah, it's sacrifice.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I remember my first meeting in the company. I was 25 and I was sitting in the Monday morning meeting, and Mike Landrum was standing up, and Mike at the time was, just like coming back and getting his business back running. He was making a lot of money at the time, and I'm sitting there and I'm just looking up to him. I'm 25. I'm like, anything you tell me. Like you do a rain dance on road, it's gonna make me $100. I'm gonna go do it, And he said, man, the pioneers take the arrows and the settlers get the land. And I remember thinking that, like, well, dang, in my head I was like, well, I'm the only person willing to do what I'm willing to do, so I'm gonna have to take the arrows. I'm the pioneer. I might not be the settler. I always feel like my babies, they probably gonna be the settlers. They're gonna get some land out the deal, but I was just, I remember saying that impacted me. I was just like, I'll be the pioneer. They're different, like you entrepreneur, and like you transition like an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? And now y'all are doing something y'all talked about and dreamed about, and it's transition, and now the story's kind of unfolding. It's honestly, now you're probably looking back and you're
Sean, you've seen the progress. You came in the other day and you were like, y'all have come a long way.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just kind of watched it too, and how you've taken the same amount of square foot and you've been able to make more money and to make it more,
you take that blueprint and you just compact it until you have what you got to do, man. And
when you have to do that. If you don't do that, you're
lost. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you got to know what you're
market
doing.
Selling coffee is like
it's a numbers game.
Selling bottled water almost like it's just on every corner. I mean, it's already getting so saturated here, and that's okay. I mean, like you're going to be trending. You got to be, the coolest thing. And fuck, I mean, now they're
coffee's not on.
Cold foam, lavender.
It's a trending market.
Shot lattes.
Yeah, it's
Colombian coffee. Coffee goes up and down every day.
Drip coffee.
No,
I mean,
you sell milk. We're selling cream and milk. I mean,
you sell a vibe, especially when you have a lounge like this. You're creating a
beautiful
vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if you're not doing that, then if you're not growing, you're dying. That's the concept. So, but it's never been more serious than now, because somebody can come up. It used to be like you needed a lot of money to open something and get something going and get everybody looking at you. Fuck, man, now you can spend $500 on the right social media networks and like everybody's a contender on the social media. Like everybody's there until they come to your brick and mortar and see how it is.
Yeah.
But everything's social media.
Yeah, you can't buy what y'all have on the shelf. Like this isn't like this is a product that y'all are selling. It's not on the shelf. It's not something you can get from, it's not something you can get from Cisco or US Foods. It's something like it's a product. It's the energy. It's the conversation. It's
the whole environment.
It's like you can't really buy that on the shelf. So, and that's what separates places like this. Everybody has drip coffee, but do they still get the same experience?
That's exactly right. I mean, it's easy to make a good coffee, but you got to create the experience.
Yeah, like sometimes, how many times you've had a backup of coffee, but you had a great conversation? You're like, I'll go back.
Yeah.
I think the big thing too is watching them is that they'll find a way to take care of the customer. There's a big menu, but there's a way.
That's us. I mean, so when in growth, people got to be in place of being. That's the hardest part, but I mean,
last week they're bagging espresso martinis.
I sold a 1.3 gallon
bag
espresso
of
martini.
martinis. So
that's new, and we have that
celebrate
on the menu.
It's on the menu, by the way.
You know what I mean, man? Like, it's
like what you guys did in Oxford, man. You guys did something different.
But it's location also. I want to say that.
Oh yeah,
you have premier location.
Yeah. We got the 5th of May.
Oh, fucking
yeah, I mean, you're not gonna beat that.
What's the name of your company? The bar?
It's called the Velvet Ditch.
The Velvet Ditch.
They say it's easy to crawl
Ditch.
into, but hard to crawl out of.
We have my stepdad. I think what Scott's like.
Easy to crawl into, easy to crawl out of.
Hard to crawl out.
Hard to crawl out of.
Yeah, because like in Oxford, that was like an old saying, like years ago. And I guess
okay,
I don't really where
the Velvet Ditch
and that phrase dates, but they said they would say that people would get into Oxford and they just kind of fall in love with it, and it's hard to get out of.
Easy to crawl into, hard to crawl out of.
Yeah, easy to crawl into, hard to crawl out of. But if you come to the ditch, like my sister came there, for the first time and brought some friends, and she was just like, man, she was like, we just love being there, and it's just got a cool vibe, it's 4,000 square feet of turf out there. We got a big old beautiful bar. We got TVs that wrap around the whole facility. Our staff is, our staff, they're servants, and Jared's done a great job of that, but, it's all branding and by the way you really treat people, serve people, and that's what we're really designed to do anyways, serve. If you do that really good in your business grows, and then, but you also get to love on people, encourage people, spread that.
Very powerful. I'm gonna switch us gears a little bit. What got you on from house parties that we went to growing up to Miss Mississippi? Like, where'd you go from there to pageants and really competing and putting yourself out there?
Scholarship money. So I didn't grow up doing pageants, but I did grow up performing. So I was always, dancing, and I used to love to sing, but I would never actually take classes. But I just loved anything to do with performance. And I had a teacher, Miss Stebley, if you're listening. I had a teacher at D'Iberville. They just come up to me one day and just throw some papers on my desk, and she was like, I think you should really look into this. And I looked into it, and I did one, and it just went really well. And I didn't realize that it was a preliminary to Miss Mississippi. So as soon as I won, and they're like, you're going to Miss Mississippi. And my dad's like, what, right? How much is this going to cost me? And if you know Brian, and anybody listening to this is that's exactly the very first thing that he said. Yes. And I went, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, it is at the Miss America organization, if we're really going to hone in on that one outside of just pageantry. The Miss America organization is very specifically targeted at scholarship. So it wasn't just a beauty pageant. It was all about what you can earn through that. And when I went the first year, and I just saw the growth that I had, because you have to be so well-rounded. It wasn't just let me just walk on this stage and just see if I'm how pretty I am and how good I could walk. It's always centered around a platform, meaning there's a cause that you need to pick and that you need to literally advocate for all year. And it needs to be something that your heart is going to be into, because it's all about community service. And you have to come with a talent, and interview skills. And of course, at the time it was swimsuit. It's no longer swimsuit, it's fitness, but still the same concept, right? Of like taking care of yourself, being a role model all the way around, well-rounded individual. And the interview process wasn't just personality based, which I'm a fan of those in pageantry too, but still to this day, the Miss America interview process is like, you've got to be prepared for anything, almost like you are training to be like a public liaison for the country, right? Miss America. So she goes and she could do just as many interviews as like someone that's representing the president. And so she has to be so well-rounded, so well-versed, has to be ready for any dart to be thrown at her, to be able to handle that gracefully. And when I saw that and I saw these role models and I saw the current Miss Mississippi, Taryn Fauché at the time, she's still my Miss Mississippi. And I saw these women, I was like, this program is going to build me into like the woman that I want to be. And I said, I'll come back here for the next 10 years. And I don't care if I never win. I see the growth. I see how these girls come back year after year. They win thousands of dollars, even if they don't win, because there's so much scholarship built into just competing. Like, oh, if you are going to go be a chiropractor, then this person has donated, $2,000 to the girl who wins this or whatever. And so, but I'm a very full throttle person. And so the next year I was like, okay, well, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do everything that I possibly could to say that I did my best, but I'm still 19, right? Most competitors at that time that were winning were usually in there like 23, 24, which is the cutoff. And, you're going in there against just these very amazing women. And so at 19, I wasn't expecting to win. I just came in there and did my best. I told him the other day that I bawled my eyes out after my interview, and I just thought that I bombed the whole thing. And I was just hoping to save face on stage. I was like, well, maybe hopefully I can just like do better this year than last year. If I could make top 15, I'll be happy. So like all the pictures of the, the Sun Herald cutouts of my face, just in complete shock. It wasn't like really a graceful win, like if you look back at pictures of me in the newspaper, I'm like this. Like it wasn't like this beautiful Miss America wave. It was like, I was like, dude, I don't know. I blacked out when they crowned me, but it was scholarship that really got me interested initially. And then, like I said, just the growth of the program. And I dabbled in pageantry a little bit after that, but just the training in that has set me up for life. And so that's why I'm just a huge advocate of pageantry for women. If you're going in for
what's your steps? So you said there, so is there like, like shout out to my friend Brandon, but she was on that Lifetime honeymoon show.
Okay.
And it was like
no, I haven't heard of that.
So it's like a honeymoon island or something like that. But they were just like, it's not just like one interview. It's like casting calls, like they keep sending you and interviewing you, and then they finally pick you.
Elimination.
Similar, yeah. It's like
elimination.
Yeah, but did they do that to you? Was it multiple?
Of course, yeah. I mean, of course they do.
No, it's not like in the acting world where it's like casting calls and callbacks and things like that. You enter of your own accord and you have to win. In that particular system, you have to win a local to go to state. So it's a qualifier. You do a qualifier pageant and you win a local title, and then you go to Miss Mississippi. And then if you win that, then you go to Miss America.
And that's the one that Trump was behind for a long time?
No, that was the USA pageant, which is as equally popular. They've all just like kind of been like neck and neck for a while, but it's so weird because all that so long ago. It's 100%, carried me for the last 17 years. At that season of my life is when I met him for the first time.
At Sonic, where'd y'all meet?
At the gym.
Okay.
At the gym.
Where at?
I had just gotten to Primerica, and I was like walking in the gym, and I was personal training. I was a guy named Rich Myers who had bought into a franchise called Parisi's, and he kind of brought Wood E Fitness, and he was kind of bringing the first really sports performance gym to the Gulf Coast, and it was a little bit before its time, now that something like that would honestly probably do really well, but it was a little early and people really weren't investing that type of money into sports like they do now. Travel baseball wasn't a thing at the time. Now you got travel football, travel soccer, travel baseball. Rec leagues take a beating because of it. So it was just that's how we ended up. I don't know how I got into that, but that's kind of how we met.
So he was training me, Rich Myers was training me. So I was at the gym all the time.
And so I had gotten to Primerica right around the same time, and so she was stretching on the track, and I got to know her through training, and I was just like, hey, you come get licensed. And she was like, okay. So she ended up being the first person.
I was his first licensed agent in Primerica at 19.
So That was 16 years ago.
Wow.
I had faith in you, babe.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
That is wild.
You know what's really cool is after we had gotten together, you know, your license lapses after 2 years, right? So I had not kept up with my license. And when, you know, we had gotten back together and we knew that we were going to be together and, you know, we already got engaged, everything, I was taking my licensing class again in his office, right, with our licensing coach. And he's watching the kids at home and he's like, I'm gonna just bring the boys in the garage. We're going to get sweaty. I'm going to clean up the garage. He gets up in the attic. And while I'm getting my license again, he finds an old plaque in the attic that says Christine Kozlowski, Primerica District Leader. It was like one of my promotional plaques.
The first promotion.
My first promotion. And I haven't been in Primerica for 15 years. And he just finds this plaque that he still has with my name on it.
Ain't that weird?
As his future wife. It was really, really cool.
I mean, I feel like the world works in mysterious ways for sure.
Yeah.
Circle.
Incredible.
It is.
Yeah, Primerica's kind of been there through and through. That's kind of partially what just kind of brought us back together because our story is, we could get into a lot of details of our story, but obviously that's initially how we met. Well, I stay in Primerica for a couple of years, and then I actually book a lead role in a trilogy in my early 20s. And I just know that I can't balance it all. Like I had to even leave college for a year. And so I had called Sean and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do Primerica right now. You know, if I come back, I would love to come back to it. And as he always is, he's just so cordial and gracious, and he never cut ties, and he never made me feel uncomfortable. Always kept me as a friend. And so I went on and I did that. I never came back. But I learned so much of the concepts and the value of what it was just the 2 years in it, studying under him and under Mike. And so whenever I was getting married, right, and preparing for a family, who else would I call, right? So like Sean Merrill is like the life insurance person. And of course I trusted him and I trusted the company. So he comes to our house, he writes our life insurance, right? He actually becomes a customer of ours. I become a client of his. He becomes a customer of ours for the supplement company. And, you know, obviously we just like stuffed it in the closet. Well, when Tommy died 3 years ago and I come home, who delivers my death claim but Sean, right? And then obviously like fast forward a long time, you know, I was obviously grieving and 12 weeks pregnant at the time when that happened. So I wasn't looking for anyone, right? I was just surviving, and I moved home and was trying to figure out my life. And so it wasn't for like at least a year later after that, you know, the Lord just kind of like brought us together. But if it wouldn't have been for Primerica, we would have never been together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the relationship. The friendship started way back when. We've always known who each other was and each other's character and each other's work ethic. And we've always known each other's families, right? Like he had played golf with my dad before. He had coached my little brother at the gym before when he would train him. Our parents actually grew up. Our parents literally grew up like down the street. So his mom and her siblings and my dad and his siblings would all play together. And so whenever we got married and we would just, you know, little habits that you do around the house with your spouse and little things, you know, we noticed so many things were the same, and we realized we really did grow up very similar because our parents literally grew up like a block apart away from each other. Yeah. So it was just weird, just this weird through line.
Yeah, it's cool because her dad has like that old, like, you know, point accent.
Yeah.
Biloxi.
Like my mom's name is Norma, so it's like Norma, go get me the toilet paper, you know.
Yeah, and so it's kind of cool because it's like very comfortable around their home because it makes me it's like a nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, she hangs out. I was at your mom's house. She was at your mom's house when we lost Michael's dad.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
And you're like, I mean, I used to go to Sean's older house back in the day, and you definitely, I could tell you were fitting in, like, with everybody because that's always been that life.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what'd you think about Michael, my older brother, Beth?
Oh my gosh, at your mom's house. Yeah, they were fun.
So that's how I knew them growing up. Because like Sean,
this was Thanksgiving or Christmas.
This is a funeral. That was a funeral.
That's right.
But
they came in town.
It was so funny because like I get over there, it's like I don't know, it's just weird getting back to. It's not changed. Nothing's changed. Everybody's the same.
Everybody's the same.
Just eating food, relaxing, getting lazy. Everybody's napping.
Yeah, me.
You love like it's literally food and napping. like just like
It's like
food coma.
We
Thanksgiving.
don't nap.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean,
No,
like, not napping,
He
like,
goes, I don't know.
they sit there and they'd eat.
No,
and, like,
I don't do the food coma nap, but I understand.
I don't either.
It's hard
I'm
to
with you,
do.
Paige.
I walk in there and that's like all your elders. That's memories. Growing up, they'd always be around. Just be like,
When was the last time you ate like that?
Well, they used to celebrate that shit around the way I grew up in the farm in Slate Springs, Mississippi. And I love my granny and my grandfather and everything, but I mean, I was a child then, and I see them napping, and I hated it.
oh, really? Oh, well.
And I hate it now. I don't like napping. I don't, man. I think it's terrible. But I mean, I have so many friends in the cultures that celebrate a siesta. It's part of the culture, and I get it. But
I think it's the whole culture of the South because you're
no, you're trying to make it that.
no, but you're native down here.
I'm gonna take a fucking nap. You need a fucking nap when you work 4 hours. What is that?
No, I was just saying memories like when I was.
I'm gonna
growing
drop
up.
my 2-year-old off at your house, and you gonna want to nap.
No, he don't nap. I mean, I don't even nap, but I'm saying like, well, I was talking about like
I
growing
can't,
up,
it's hard for me.
like the Point family, like that's all they did. I just remember walking in, it was all the grandparents on the
All
couch.
I'm saying is I don't want to say it's a culture here. I don't think that it is. I think it might be a culture of the younger people. I mean, kindergarten made us take naps, but I hated that too. No, I did. I think that it's a waste. I mean, how much rest do you need? I mean, I think it's terrible. I think it's a waste of life.
He's too hardcore.
No, seriously, I do.
No, I mean he's a point, but it's just like what I was trying to make a point of was just like every time I had
He's
like
talking about like an event.
I'm talking about my relatives. Like I always go to my grandma's house and there's
You go
like
to your
every
grandma's
uncle
house
they're
on
sitting there.
Sunday.
But that's even worse. So
But
you
that-
motherfuckers get together once a year, or once every 5 years, and everybody's gonna go to sleep for a minute.
Nobody's seen each other for a
No,
year.
you got a point.
You pass
I
out.
don't thought about that.
That's the worst
Think
date
about
ever.
this. I mean,
That's the worst
And-
date
and-
ever.
and I saw my grandfather, who fucking was the most amazing man in my life, and everybody honor him. Everybody still honors him, but you're gonna go to sleep like
So he did.
I mean,
they
everybody
did
gets
too.
together like once a year or every other year, and everybody's gonna take a fucking nap.
That's true. You're on point a little bit. You're definitely on point with that.
I mean, it's lazy. I call it lazy, and that's how I felt about it. That's how I always feel about it. Because, I mean, how much rest you fucking? What kind of day was that for you? You obviously slept in. It's a fucking holiday, and so you ate a bunch of food, and now you need more rest.
It was my whole life.
I
go
like
to
to go
bed
for
all the-
runs on
early that
holidays.
I mean,
I like to go for runs.
It was that was majority of like the point then growing up. Like it was that kind of. It's always been that way for my family.
Yeah, everybody.
You run-
You lived in different.
Hopefully, no Merrills are listening.
You get together like once every 10 years. Everybody's gonna fucking nap. What?
I hope all
You know,
you
it's
nappers
funny.
are
I
convicted.
never really
Just
thought
tell
about
me.
it like that.
What is the camaraderie? Like, what's this say? Truly, you got family.
Honestly,
all
I don't
over
think
the
it's
world.
by choice. I think that it really
come
is like how
together.
much food they eat, and you just like pass out.
Tell me the celebration and the nap. What is the true time spent together? Napping
It's the food.
It's
with the dinner together eating. That's tradition, right? You eat at the same table. And
You
then-
got to look at.
but
Are we
when you
talking
take
about
naps, you
Thanksgiving? Is that
motherfuckers
what we're
are
talking
alone.
about?
I don't know how we even got on that.
any family get together, like funerals.
He wasn't really talking about napping.
I just assumed
Yeah, I like
Thanksgiving
that.
because you
I
brought
was
naps
More
into
or
it.
less just talking about
I
like,
think napping.
going, you know,
Look at
because what
so
I
happens
didn't
is
make
everybody
napping
eats
up.
so much.
turkey
and then
has
they
that
lay down.
hormone in it that makes you go to sleep.
Tryptophan.
Family
Yeah.
get together.
So
Tryptophan.
dressing,
And,
turkey.
and Paige was like,
You're
I
basically
eat
just
naps.
open up
I
a
hate
bagel.
I'm serious. Like,
It's
what's the
very
point? Everybody's fucking sleeping.
Yeah, you make a good point because it is when you're there spending time
Yeah,
with
it's
family.
like no, this is
That's a good
tradition.
point.
What a shitty tradition. We're all gonna get together once in a
And be
fucking
unconscious the
millennium,
whole time.
and we're gonna go to sleep because we ate all this food. Like,
Or we could
Dude,
just,
what holiday are we
I love
talking
it.
about?
any,
wow, I mean,
Any holiday.
funeral. Well,
I
this
mean,
was
it
a
sounds
funeral.
like fucking Thanksgiving.
This was actually a
This
funeral.
is my brother's dad's funeral.
even worse, man. I mean, like, if everybody's getting together, why the hell do you want to put people in catatonic states?
I mean, you got a point though. You got a point.
Touche.
What the fuck is the point of getting together if you're not hanging out? I cannot be the only one that thinks this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever really.
I
I don't
think
really
napping
think
is
I don't think they're
fucking waste
trying.
of
I think
life,
it's the
dude.
food putting them to sleep, though. That's my argument.
I mean, if you've been up all night and you slept 2 hours because something bad happened, or you're on graveyard and something bad happened and it threw you off and need some sleep, I get that. But napping, just napping like to nap, feel like I need more rest, more than the 8 hours.
I don't know, man. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. and moved,
That's enough.
trained somebody,
Enough sleep.
moved half a condo, I guess. That's what
That's
we got there. It
enough.
was a half a condo.
Yeah, I feel like the older I get, the less sleep I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fucking focused.
Yeah.
And you're excited to wake up though too. I mean, you're in it.
I'm a person, like, honestly, like, if I get up and she kind of laughs at me all the time, but it's, she's like, when she gets tired, she's tired. She's done. But like me, like,
that's how I am.
I'm just like locked in for something. And then if I stop,
if I hit a brick wall, that's it.
yeah,
brick wall.
I
Yeah.
can't. I fall asleep in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna fall
But-
asleep here.
but I could go, I've went like a day and a half just because of something, whatever. Got to get something done. Maybe like you're finishing some project at the office, like floors or something. I've done that. And like, but I've always been able to stay up for like.
I feel like when I learned like I didn't like nap, it's forgetting something. Like I feel like I'm forgetting. Like if I'm napping, there's something I can be doing. So like I get a lot
I
more
get
done.
anxiety laying down there.
Oh yeah, that's real bad. But I feel like if I in that time, like
You
even
feel like you need to be doing something.
Yeah, well, I feel like especially that's the one thing, like when you're working when you do have maybe a job and you don't have like a business, where like when you're in a business, there's always something that needs paperwork.
Yeah, you can't really clock out.
There's
You have to like
always-
make yourself clock
There's
out.
always something to move yourself further down. Like, yeah, some things are not always like cleaning something or preparing something, but some things it's like maybe making that call or getting that one paperwork done with the city that you really don't. And it's those things you got to get done. And you're like laying, like, and staying and stop in the middle of the day, even going to the gym. That's why the gym even becomes a struggle, because to stop your mind,
But that gives you energy. I mean,
No, I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
for me, now I've gotten way better at that. But early in my career, I struggled working out because I was so laser being focused on making money.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if I could even pay my bills then a month. So to stop to work out, and I did.
It's hard to think about the gym when you're trying.
I'm in
you're
the
worried
gym,
about making
I get
money.
anxiety. I got anxiety sitting in the gym. And then someone calls you get distracted, and I'm, it's like one of those things.
The gym is a bonus when you're trying to make money. Like, and you don't have, maybe
once
you don't have enough.
Know
money.
how to tip. Like, I feel like once you know how to govern your activity to make sure hey, look, my bills are paid, everything's taken care of, like nothing, my quality of life's not threatened. Yeah, like I felt like it was a way easier for me to find like a tempo in my gym life and stuff like that, where I didn't really care. Like I was like, no, this is what I'm doing. And even like Paige, you're right. Like it needs to be like hindsight 2020, and it should have been like number one thing I got done, and then everything else would have probably been in a better place. I'd have been more focused, more locked in, more whatever.
No, I mean, this is me. No one hates naps, only me. I mean, I'm the only person hates.
Yeah,
naps.
we got on. I don't.
Hates naps, but I'm saying, if you got enough rest, so how do you? All right, when you're tired again, do you think that you need that sleep? Because how easy is it to feel like you need to sleep again? You know what I mean? Like, it is so fucking easy to feel like you need to sleep again.
Again, just said I
Like,
love
all
my
you-
naps.
All you have to do is
I
like,
love what.
his girlfriend.
His girlfriend said I love my naps. I get when I work around the clock.
Okay. Well, let me speak for just
But I'm saying all
women.
you have to do is just get
Let's
slow
be
down.
women here.
Sleeping is fucking easy to do, all right? Unless you have a conscience that maybe you did something you regret or whatever. But like I'm saying, but sleeping is easy.
That's the
No, sleeping is easy
Guilty
to
conscious.
do.
That's what he's trying.
I really want to talk to this because everybody's like,
you're not at
no,
peace.
well, I mean, if you're tired, I'm tired. I mean, why the fuck are you tired? I mean, like, dude, if
I
you
will
slept-
say
if
that
you
I
slept
go
8 hours-
I go so hard and I go so much and I do train every day and I go through so much like mental taxing things all the time that I will push and push and push and I will push to the point where like I don't have a choice not to take a nap. I'm just going to pass out. Like wherever I am.
Yeah.
I was asleep at my son's field trip the other day at the aquarium, straight up asleep in the corner, sitting on the ground.
Yes,
I took my kids to the learning center in D'Iberville the other day, and all I know is 1 second I'm talking to the lady who runs it, and the next second, 45 minutes. And I have my mom with me. She's watching my son. 45 minutes later, I wake up out the chair, and I'm like, what happened? She's like, you definitely passed out. Like, I'm like a doll that just goes, once I'm done. I'm not like, I'm going to take a nap for fun because it's just the leisurely thing I would like to do right now. It's like my body just says, you're done. And it's like a button is pressed, and I'm just like, done.
Were you like that before you had kids?
I've always been like that. Yeah. But it's because I do push and I do go so hard that my body's just like, you have to sleep now.
Yeah, she never says she's
midday.
Whenever it happens. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that happens all the time.
Everybody's got to be different. I know.
Everybody's
Up
different.
throughout the
Yeah.
night when
Yeah.
it is.
But also there's I've heard a few different studies this year about how women need way more sleep than men because we do not produce I don't know all the science behind it, but essentially like because men produce the testosterone and they produce all these different things that you guys can go more often, whereas we have to sleep for certain hormones to like be regulated and for different things in our body to produce for us to go to continue going on.
Yeah.
Like guys produce it around the clock and there's certain things that we need to reset that can only happen during sleep. So women need more sleep than men. I mean, not like 5 hours more, but we do studies show that we do need more sleep than men.
What? Yeah, that's probably true. I mean,
Women are a cascade of hormones. Like you gotta have everything in the right.
Sound
line.
passionate.
Yeah, we need to be balanced.
And then
But the district also does a 48-hour cold brew. Have a 16 ounce of that.
we also sell a 48-hour cold brew.
The caffeine.
Well, there you go.
The
At the
caffeine
next
doesn't
family
even
get
do
together,
everything.
Jordan, you just bring some dang coffee and ain't nobody got to be napping.
I also sell gallon martinis to all you
that's
mothers
new.
at soccer
That's very
practice.
new.
It's,
Uh,
but I mean, it's you've always had that point. You've always brought up that point.
Chad.
I feel like that was awesome. I enjoyed that conversation.
That was great.
That's a long soapbox.
I'm going to continue to hate naps because I just don't think. Well, I mean, I know there's certain circumstances, but like the people that I know taking naps is like, dude, if you just chill out and then start relaxing, I mean, you gotta fucking sleep. I mean, it's like, but these people, some of them are like, no, I need this. I'm like, I'll tell you, case in point, my loser fucking dad. He'd sleep till fucking. He's like, if you're sleeping, you need it. I was like, you need 20 hours of sleep. I mean, because you slept that long, you need it. I mean,
Damn.
piece of shit, you fucking liar. You know, but you try to celebrate it. I refuse.
I respect that. Respect it.
You gonna keep talking about naps?
No, I mean,
30 minutes has been about.
hey,
naps.
it's fun. It's fun. That's a podcast. We can get this is a conversation. We talk about what do you think about QVC, or how about your business? You've been running your supplement business.
Something AI.
You've started doing the whole drop shipping, right?
including.
Yeah. So that was going since
What's the name of your company?
it's called Hand Nutrition.
Okay.
Like your right and your left hand. Yes.
And how long did you start growing that business? Like, I mean, what did it start? 6 months? Did a year? Like how?
So this company was originally my late husband's company. So he actually started it around the same time that Sean started Primerica. So both of our companies are roughly the same age. He started it from the ground up. Right. He was just like a bodybuilder and he had worked in lots of different supplement stores and he just saw a need and filled it. Obviously, supplements have come a long way since 17 years ago. But he just wanted to. he wanted to start something with supplements he would actually take, right? He would just do all the research and he's like, nothing in the store is something that I'm actually going to take and I'm not going to recommend it. And so he just kind of started it one product at a time. And so I came in about 8 years into the company, and he had zero website, zero marketing, zero advertising, was still handwriting everything that was shipped, like to this person from this person, like you would write a letter. Okay. No label printer. Like, I mean, just like as starter package as you could imagine, but he had already built it to where he was full time, right? He had worked all the different jobs to get it to that point and was literally doing 6 figures, between 200 and 300K a year in sales, that bootleg. Okay. So this is really impressive. So when I came in and we got pregnant and I realized that I was going to be helping him run this company with a baby, I was like, we got to streamline this. So we, started the website but still never any marketing or advertising. Right. So again, fast forward, after I lost Tommy, I obviously just was floating for a year, right? I was 12 weeks pregnant and I had a 2-year-old. And the last thing I'm focused on is growing a business. I'm just trying to survive, trying to make sure that I'm feeding myself and eating enough to like support and grow this child, and making sure that 2-year-old, my Roman, was, stable and moved home, but also still somewhat trying to keep the business afloat, but not trying to like do anything with it. And our customers are so loyal. I mean, we've had the same customers. We've had customers that have like over 100+ orders with us. And I never looked at any of the analytics, but once I met Sean as a business mind, right, entrepreneurial mindset, he starts looking at the back end and he's just like, you realize that you have like a 60-something% customer return rate, 70-something% customer return rate, 60% on just one product alone. And so they really just floated us for that entire year. I was so nervous that I was going to have to, the company was going to go belly up. Tommy's no longer here running it. We ran it together, but he's the brains, right? He's the one that created the products, and he was the first face of the company. And it was called Hand, for goodness sakes, right? His name was Thomas Hand. And so it wasn't until, I don't know, probably within the last 12 months, really, that we've even kind of put any effort into it. When you first obviously like start a new relationship, and we had so much to combine, right? When he met me, I've got this infant that is still breastfeeding, and I've got this toddler, and they're both still living at home with me. And so for us to combine lives and combine families, that took a long time. And I mean, we were kind of dabbling into helping each other with our businesses, but it was still a lot of groundwork that just has to be laid at the beginning of a relationship. So once we got married and obviously got everybody moved in and acquainted and everything, finally kind of sat down and just now started, like, hey, let's sponsor this, or let's go, set up a table here. And the company is still, like I said, it's still done the same amount of sales. It's wild. People who have started a company however long ago, or new people will come and they'll say, what's your business model? And I'm just like, I'm not the person to come and ask how you start and run a business, because I didn't start it. And I have just been so blessed that our customers are so loyal, but our products have done so well because they do what they say that they do. The company's just run by word of mouth.
I was gonna say, like, how do you come up with these supplements? Like, do you guys create them yourselves? Or?
So he built them, and I've just basically tried to learn as much about them as I could while I was with him. And
huge.
Yeah, I mean, that industry, like, but like, I would say, always say our flagship product is called CLA.
CLAs are, I would say, the most proven supplement out there.
Yeah.
CLA.
CLA.
What is CLA?
It's a fat burner.
It's actually a fat blocker, and so it's not a fat burner. So there's no stimulant, which makes it different. So people that have heart issues or stuff like that, or they don't want stimulant, they don't want to be up at night, or whatever the issue is,
right?
They don't have to worry about that. So with this, and she's probably better at explaining it. But
I like hearing you explain it.
But it's called
oh, you're gonna booger it up. Conjugated linoleic acid.
Linoleic acid, linoleic acid, or something like that. I was screwed up, but it's CLA. And basically, what it does, it produces a hormone. It's called your body produces a hormone that's called LPL that promotes like your body to store fat, right? Well, what CLA does at the right dosage, it like eliminates your body from producing that hormone, that enzyme, that hormone, or that enzyme, whatever. And so what
It helps block the signal to your brain to store fat.
Yeah. So basically, you're going to store fat.
What's unique about our CLA is that if you go walk in a Walmart GNC or supplement store, you're going to see CLA 9 out of 10 times in a pill form. And it's naturally an oil. And you're going to see it in a pill form. You're going to have to take those multiple pills multiple times a day. You got to time it around food. It's max dosed at 3 grams. And it's not nearly as bioavailable as ours, which we have converted it into a powder. So ours is a powder.
My go-to back in the day when I was competing was dimetized CLA back in the bottle. When I was going to Top Guns, you just take a capful, take it with, whatever snack I was eating before the gym.
Yeah.
And then I would hit it. But
yeah, it's been around for a while, and ours is 5 grams.
Yeah.
And it's obviously much more bioavailable powder, and you're just having to do it the once a day. So even if you go research CLA, you'll hear a lot of mixed reviews. Just if you just Google it about it works, it doesn't work. Well, it's like, well, of course it's not going to work if people are missing their dose or they're not taking. You have to take it every single day.
Yeah.
But our customers will swear by that product, and it's like they want to take off our heads if it's ever not in stock, because truly they'll notice after 1 to 2 weeks the bloating go down. They'll notice that they can eat that pizza or that hamburger every now and then and wake up the next morning and not notice it whatsoever. And it doesn't take more than the end of the bottle to significantly notice a difference, and that you don't have to change anything. Like you can't like take the CLA and then be like, I'm going to eat chocolate cake every single day now, right? Like this is going to block all the fat, but you can literally change nothing. You don't have to start working out, and it works for whether you're somebody that's, like 300 pounds, just trying to get some sort of motivation, like Rick, just like move the needle just a little bit, or whether you're a bodybuilder just trying to strip that last little layer in the lower abs right before you step on stage. Like you said, like when you were training, like you're like, this was something that was recommended to me. And so being that it's an all natural product with no stimulants, it is, like he said, it is the flagship product. It is definitely what has like kept us afloat.
Product, it really is. That CLAs are the go-to.
So what awards have you won? Because I was carrying them to your house from today. They're pretty badass. What were they? They're pretty bad.
I've done a couple of shows.
They're dope, though. You have like a
most likely
from bodybuilding.
Entrepreneur of the year. Entrepreneur of the year.
Most popular.
No, I'm saying the
Mr. Greyhound.
the muscle ones, yeah.
Like, we need to talk about it.
They're pretty badass. I mean,
I came first place in men's physique a long time ago.
Okay.
I was 21. I'm 30 now.
They're still cool trophies. I just was like,
yeah, he was carrying out all my trophies today. He was like, what the fuck is this?
It's like bodybuilder guys, and like one was a lion, I think.
The last trophy I got was in a beard competition.
This was last year.
You have a great beard. You won a beard competition?
No, so my barber's like, you need to enter into this beard competition. So I enter in, and the guy who put on the beard competition happens to be in my division,
Category.
My category, and we were in 4 inches and under category.
Oh.
So I ended up getting second place, and out of 2.
And he won, right?
He won because it was his event.
Mm-hmm. I know how that goes.
Yeah, but so my award says
it doesn't say what the award. It doesn't say what the award is for.
It doesn't say what it's for. It just says
like
4 inches or less.
Second place.
That's all it says. I'm like, this has got to be the most ridiculous.
There's so many things. There's so many unknowns here. Like, I mean, who else competed? Who judged it?
But it doesn't say. No. Listen, it doesn't
funny.
say anything about that it's a beard competition. It just says second place, 4 inches and under, Sean.
What you were pitched. A beard competition.
Yeah, well, it's my barber. She was like, "Look, I got to judge this beard competition, and they need help."
I'll check it out, Keith. I'm having too much fun with this right now.
They were raising some money or something like that.
Thank you for the feedback.
But
I've never entered one.
I don't know about that.
You should.
I knew because they wanted me to join the whole Bearded Villains. They were coming down here, and then I did like Mountaineer brand. There was one of my sponsors. Like this is probably 8-9 years ago, and I was like, I put it in, like I was telling you earlier, like, and then my whole beard turned in like Soul Glow, and it's so shiny.
It's just so glow,
but I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I put it in one night, like, and I was like, what? I mean, it wasn't even it was a light dose, but the way my hair is, I was like,
Right.
and then they were like wanted me to enter a contest, but then I don't like I did my beer pink one time for the run, and then I did glitter one time for Christmas, and it just ruined my AC vent in my house, like the filter. I was like, okay, I'm never gonna do my beard like that. And
That's so strong it is.
what? Huh?
Any product you put in your beard, I love it. So
But no, I did pink, like it was. Aaron, you met.
You did pink. The pink dress.
And it went, and it was applied. And then I remember like just being around the house, and all of a sudden I was like, "Why is the filter pink?" And it was the beard.
Just from that?
Huh?
Imagine what your lungs inhale.
Oh, like everything,
No shit.
everything.
So your title's not documented. It's just a title.
No, it's just.
I can get
4
you a trophy off
it says
Amazon.
4 inches and under.
If you want to feel
What does
cool,
it
I can.
It just says second place, 4 inches and under.
Thank you. Y'all finally got it.
That's
I feel
what
like
my-
you've been sabotaged.
Sean, I don't know about you, but I'm putting that on the mantle.
Oh, his brother took a picture and posted it
I
immediately.
would burn that motherfucker.
I thought that was the funniest thing. When I saw that, I was like, they didn't even put that it's a beer company.
No.
It just says 4 inches and under. Like it's
like the one of the little cheap
Hey.
Papers they gave you in school. Like
It's a conversation piece, dog.
No, I'd keep it. I was kidding. Shit.
I would keep.
It was fun.
yeah.
We had your mom and your brother there.
I'm putting that on the fireplace.
Her best
man.
friend.
Where did I put it?
is the district doing a beard competition here?
You know, I have
I
the.
have the most
I have a
unhealthy.
couple that comes in.
I have an unhealthy beard. He has a healthy beard and he won't grow it. I mean, what the fuck we gonna do?
Yeah, you know, probably Dallas. That is that Dallas and Matt? Did they come?
Dallas was my neighbor at the inlet.
Yeah. That's who does my beard.
I just talked to her at the garage the other night. Yeah,
Yeah, I use her oil, man.
they were supposed to come on, and I totally fucked that up. And
They'll come back on.
so it was the night of the Cubbies, and they were supposed to come on, but we didn't know we were nominated for the Cubbies. It was a week prior, and I thought that we had pushed them back.
No, that was Sean on the Coveys.
Yeah.
It was we were
You
on
were the night. It,
The
it was,
Tuesday.
it
You were
was like
coming on that
y'all were
Tuesday.
supposed to get switched somehow, but nothing got done. But she grinded me at the garage the other day and basically said I could fix your receding hairline. You just come see me. And I said, yeah, I know I fucked up.
She's gonna tattoo you.
And she's probably gonna tattoo my
you should
forehead.
do it. It probably look. I mean, I've seen that
That was-
micro eyebrows.
Thinking this was
She wants me to do that. You know how people.
I love your bald head. No.
I would
Just
never-
keep it. Yeah.
No.
You see people that actually get their hair like laser, like a hairline. It's like a real hair. Like I get the eyebrow thing, you know.
I seen some eyebrows on a. I seen some eyebrows done recently. I think it's my mom. And
tell.
you can't tell. Like
No,
it's
it's
like my
good.
mom went to California. Like it literally looks like eyebrows. Like it's a lot of detail now. They're getting good at this.
Yeah,
You gotta
it's an
come
art.
for you?
I don't know. I think they have it here too.
No, there's that lady right down the street does it, right here.
Our boy's going to Turkey. No, our boy's going
Oh,
to
Turkey.
Turkey for a fucking
The Tyler or
hairline.
Turkey?
You're going to Turkey?
Turkey.
Brandon.
No, our boy.
Yeah, David's going to Turkey.
What's he going there for? The fight?
They're gonna
hairline.
fill in his get his hair done a
He's
little
getting
bit.
his hair
Gonna
done.
do the
You talking about implants?
He's got a great hairline.
Oh, 'cause they're
Implants?
Yeah.
They're doing that.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
I've heard of people going out of the country for
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
That's
if
cool.
that's exactly what it is, but yeah, he's going to switch one.
Well, I think he's just gonna get a few areas filled that he's like a little receipt or whatever. That
I was looking. It was
It's like
today.
20
He just
grand.
told us that today, but
That's probably $20,000.
yeah, that's what he
Turkey.
said.
In Turkey, the country, to like make sure that every homeless animal can eat and have everything they want, like in the restaurants. I'm serious. Like
Oh,
Turkey,
I don't know anything about this.
no, it's the thing that Turkey's doing. Like it's incredible. Like they worship the stray cats and shit, and not like they worship stray cats. I'm saying they
Yeah, but
feed
they
them
take
like they
care
can
of 'em.
hang out.
Yeah,
dope.
I've never heard of that.
You remember Midnight Express? The movie Midnight Express.
Oh,
All right, the iconic scene where she throws her bare breast into the window. It's like, oh, Billy. You know what I'm talking about? But you know that scene? Jim Carrey's made fun of the scene. Everybody's made fun of the scene.
Yeah.
That's Midnight Express. Well, the premise was that a kid tried to smuggle hash back from Turkey and gets caught. It's just fucking terrible. I mean, dude, it's terrible. I mean, like it's graphic, but it's a movie. Now he's stuck in Turkey and everybody hated turkey for like 20, 30 years because of this movie. I'm serious. But now, like, you learn that turkey's like has the biggest impetus and everything for the animals, and like it's really cool. Like when I read up on them, like what they do for strays.
Yeah, I don't even know if I know where like Turkey. Where is this?
On a map?
It's in the
You're
Middle
asking me
East.
right now on a map? Nah, I don't know that
Right
on
in
a
the
map.
Middle East.
Yeah.
It is the Middle East,
But
where?
no, seriously. But then everyone goes there for veneer and hair.
Well, I've watched videos. I've watched some like Instagram videos of like how they treat people. Like you get on there, you get a flight. They got lounging. And
$7,000. They paid. Brandon told me today they paid for his flight, room, everything. They just want to take a video of him, and that'll be it.
But people take medical vacations there to have things done, even if it wasn't being
and
covered
stem
by-
cells too over there.
I don't know about that.
Stem
Not
cell.
a bad place, I'm sure, to recover.
Well, I mean, but
Oh,
I've
yeah.
watched videos, and it's like they put you in a
Like
top
Chris
top
Bumstead.
hotel. Even the lounge is like relaxing. It's like a spa.
Right.
And you just get like that first class treatment, and for half the price. I guess that's what
I'd like to do some like some
cheaper in Boswell.
what's the cell,
Stem cells?
Stem cell.
Stem
Yeah.
cell, yeah.
I'd love to do that in my shoulder.
I was just wondering where that was. Yeah,
yeah.
because Dana White was
Well,
just talking about
they
that.
have the technology. Turkey, particularly Istanbul, is known as the city of cats. With a large population of stray cats roaming the streets, these cats are often viewed as communally owned pets rather than traditionally strays. And many are well fed and even receive medical care. The country also has a no kill, no capture policy for animals.
Wow.
That's pretty dope.
If you'd watch Midnight Express, you would not believe this because, like, dude.
So that movie really just changed like the way people thought of it.
Well, I grew up watching it.
Mike West said F and that.
Oh yeah, that's his
He would.
personality.
It's like he's on his next dealership. So
Yeah, he's
you
like-
don't like.
Fucking that.
He
It's a
said
fucking-
F and that.
could be a hat. That could be your hat. Fucking nap hat.
Donnie Handler.
That is a hat.
That
dude.
is a hat.
That's a hat. Fucking hat.
All right, the district fucking nap hat. Emily,
We're about to come
In the
out with a
making.
district fucking nap.
fucking nap
Why
hat.
do I feel so strongly about it?
Donnie Handler said, "Sean, get your big ass back in the gym. Let's fucking go."
He's in the gym
I'm in the gym.
every
Not
day.
the
Yeah.
same gym.
He's just
That's
talking.
Heath telling Jordan what to do.
Like, Keith's awesome though.
Keith Wilson.
Love you.
Is he related to
He's Deville. I think he's Deville too.
yeah, he's cool.
I know I did. I don't know.
Well, you did that.
Shit, I did that. I don't know how, but I did that.
For even reviews, I am gonna piss.
Oh
Oh
shit.
yeah,
Ah,
just click off. Yep, just click off. Yep, that's it.
that's pretty cool though.
The only thing is when we do that, like on a lot of them comments when we're doing it live, the way we cut clips, you'll see the comments in there.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah,
What
I
up?
can't see nothing.
Yeah, I always pull it away from guests. Sometimes I've had comments where it's just uncomfortable, and I don't like a guest being in that situation.
These are
Right,
all very
right.
positive.
There, I've had some stuff where it's like I said, I've done 290.
Sean Michael Nikes.
It's just I ain't worth it to me.
Oh, that's our
Boy,
little brother right there.
That's one of my.
he's
stuff.
doing great, man.
He's doing great.
He was in here the other day.
The other day. Said,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sean's.
That boy loves coffee.
Yeah, he loves coffee. Finally,
Goodness.
he's starting to cut sugar out.
You got to pull the. You got to click on the comments, pull it off.
He
Do it.
got him off the sugar crave. Christine got on to him.
All right,
He's-
let's see.
But he went over to Sean went to the UK, and he's never left. So he never left over there. He's never left Bay St. Louis much, and so he goes over to UK, and their whole lifestyle is different. Like the way they eat and their food, and it's so.
Is their food good? Did he say that?
He just said it was he said it was so. All their stuff is just simple. There's not all this crazy ingredients, but he
Yeah.
said you eat it and you don't feel bloated, and it just makes you feel like
It is.
you can walk
All
day.
fresh.
Everybody's walking, so people are getting their steps in, and that's what we even noticed when we were in Hawaii. That's those people, man, they're walking everywhere. Like down in Honolulu, you don't really use a car that much because it's just too ridiculous to do that.
Robert
And,
Cook said he was in there this morning.
But
What did Rob say?
Robert said he was in there this morning.
Thank you, Rob. Got my back. Boy.
What, in the gym? Yeah, we saw Rob.
So I thought I did a couple curls.
Rob was getting on the Stairmaster this
he
morning.
was.
Well, you know, Beth, my sister, lived in Germany, and they lived in the village, and she said that they didn't have a refrigerator, and that, like, they just get up in the mornings, and they have like a little ice box or whatever, and they just get up and go to the farmer's market, get your fresh food for that day.
Yep.
And then they didn't have Walmart, so you just get the food, and that's how everybody ate. And like, I think that's a big part of it too. Fresh food.
How was it?
What up, Jordan?
What up,
Jordan Fountain?
Yep, that's also a cousin too.
Jordan Fountain.
His mom, yeah, on my mom's side.
Renee.
Yep, her second cousin. That's my mom's first
Dawn?
cousin.
What does mom say? Dawn.
She when I was a kid, she used to cut my hair. Remember her hair salon?
Yeah.
So her.
She used to cut my hair when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Cut my daddy's hair.
When you had hair.
Yeah.
That's yours.
You just buy that?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Look at that. Did you just buy it?
Stop it. You already created that?
Yeah.
He already made a hat.
Dude,
You can't take that from us now.
he just, if I'm the one that feels the way, then it should be mine.
Yeah, no. But hey, guys, don't try to buy the .com because we bought it.
You already bought the
Jordan already
domain.
bought the .com, yeah.
Stop.
He just-
Oh my goodness. We were here for the ground.
That's a good.
Ground
That's
level.
a good one. That's a good one. Like a nad.com.
You can't take with this. He says this all the time. And I'll be honest with you, at the beginning, I just brought it up a little bit because like he really doesn't like he's not a believer in naps. Like,
We're all aware.
Severed things over it.
yeah.
Mm.
But now we got the .com. It happened today.
Yeah.
5/13/2025.
Yeah.
Fucking net.
Well, guys, would would y'all like to come on in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a
Yeah.
part 2?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, well, look in that camera and you just plug away whatever you want, how they can find y'all. And I know I put it in the description. And yeah, what's the next project going on? Where you're going to be at?
And nutrition.
Yeah.
We always have different things going on. We will be sponsoring Battle of the Gulf Coast, which is a bodybuilding show in Biloxi. It's been here for years. So we'll be there.
Doug Sellers event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, we've been trying to do that. It's always kind of worked on the wrong weekend for the last couple of years, but this year it's kind of lined
Is
up.
he having that back at the Hard Rock or is that at the Coliseum?
No, he's at the Coliseum, I believe.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah. And that's a good
It's a good
spot.
venue,
Yeah,
huh?
it's a good venue. And I mean, he's had, I think I remember the first, I went and watched the show and then our first time, in first year we were,
Michael West
Yeah.
said, I want my royalties.
You'll get your royalties,
You'll
Michael.
get that. We got you. 10%, baby.
and so, we went there and checked out, but it's continued to grow. But, our biggest focus right now, honestly, is just, really, our Primerica business is that's kind of, that's something that we know that is going to be around for, when we're gone. And my biggest focus in ours is to grow like an ecosystem, where, we have, our kids, they don't have to worry about going to college and getting us into debt and all this stuff, man. Daddy's got a business, we got businesses for you to run, so, and that's going to scale. That might turn into multiple locations for the Velvet Ditch. We don't know that, but, whatever that looks like and whatever that future is. But our goal is to, early in my life, I was a consumer, but but this season I'm more, we're focused on investing in people, investing in projects that are going to create stability in our family's, financial future, because to be honest with you, I want to lock in on my health and lock in on my kids. And because the reality is that our babies are going to only be babies for a season.
Yep.
And then we're raising men, right? And so
4 boys.
and they're watching us, no different than you. You're like frustrated about something like with your father. Like, man, I want to make sure that my kid can never say that, about me. And that's my responsibility, for them. Like I always tell my clients, I feel like I go to work with a little skin in the game, because my kids are local. Like we're local. Like I'm not on some Zoom from California trying to sell you some life insurance. Not like if I sell you life insurance and do your investments here in South Mississippi, I'm going to see you at Walmart. I'm going to see you at the games. I'm going to see at church. I'm going to see you downtown LS when I'm grabbing dinner. You're going to see me, and I want our interaction to be fruitful and good and cordial. I don't want it to be weird and awkward. And we're like, oh, that's weird. Like, who wants that relationship? I've been here 16 years, you know, and we have a great relationship with our clients down here. And man, I had a cool story as close, you know, was today I had a lady call me and then she was going to go work for another company. And she used to be licensed with us. And she's like, I went on this one appointment. And she was like, I felt as if we were trying to sell something they didn't need. And the lady was frustrated when we didn't sell the product. And she was like, I just loved how when I was in your office, that was never a thing. You know, it was like, hey, if it works for the client, if it makes sense, then we're going to move forward. But if it doesn't make sense, then we're not, you know. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. It's cool that we had that culture of somebody that was 6-7 years ago that was in business with us, you know. And then they remember that trying to get back in the industry. And was like, and called me. It was like, I think I'd rather come back, you know, and get my investment license and do some stuff with you guys. Cause I really just, looking back, I feel like that was a better option, you know? And so that was cool call today, you know, but that's what we want. We want a culture for our kids so they don't have to feel like they, you know, I don't want my kid to go punch a clock and dig someone else's ditch. You know, we're going to dig ditches, we're going to do it for our family, you know? I don't mind getting dirty and I don't mind teaching lessons, you know, but the soul's rich in the valley and they need to learn that through struggles, but I want it to be for our family, you know, and maybe that might be wrong to some people, but to be honest with you, I want my kids, if we're going to put our time and put our hands on the plow, we might as well be plowing our fields. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and then we can go help other people's fields, right? I have no problem with that, serving other people, loving on other people and helping them grow their crop, you know, but if, you know.
But that's also the beauty of Primerica. I think that's why I loved it then and I love it now after sitting in those meetings for 2 years as a 19-year-old and then coming back and seeing it again as an adult and as, you know, a client who was paid out and then now as a partner in it. It's one of the only business models that I've seen that, especially in like the corporate world, that you have to push people up in order to succeed rather than step on people to get where you need to be. So honestly, the way that the business model works is that you have to be a servant. You have to love on people. Other people have to succeed on your team for you to really succeed in the long run. And so it kind of like what he's saying about, yes, you're plowing your own field, meaning he's saying that I'm not just going and punching a clock and making somebody else money, but I'm still capped. It's a no cap business model, but the way that you really do grow is by investing in other people, is by serving other people. It's like what, like our pastor always says, like he talks about like in a marriage, you know, for a marriage to work, or you can apply it to anything, you can apply it to friendship, or you can apply it to business, is that you should be racing to the back of the line, right? Racing to take care of somebody else. And like, that's going to be so much more fruitful. No, none of us like the person that like pushes us out of the way and cuts the line, right? You know what I mean? Like you like the person that's like, you know, after you, go ahead. Like that's the person that you respect. You don't respect the person that's always like stepping on other people to get where they need to be. And that's why we love this company. And that's why Sean's done as well as he has, is because he's somebody that he's just a natural servant, you know, and that's something
the biggest thing in insurance, though, on a serious note, is even with the boys in the coffee shop, is you come here, you're gonna get the same quality coffee, you're gonna get the same love, you're gonna get the same atmosphere. I mean, you've had business deals in the back. Mm-hmm. There's always a safe space here.
Yeah.
I work from my Oliver Scott Insurance. It's named after my son. I'm never leaving the insurance business. I was talking to Sean Shoemake about the quotes that I get just word of mouth.
Yeah.
I'm extremely blessed. Sean's been in the business, 20 plus years. He's like, holy shit, you know, but it does take that late night phone call. I mean, like I write the boys insurance. If you need something, you need to find it for them. Insurance to me has been amazing, but you have to be there. You have to, especially that I learned, it's like a client, like sometimes somebody wants to buy a truck at 8 o'clock at night. They need it. Like they need insurance. They need a phone call or something. But I do like that's what I said, this place is atmosphere, but customer service, this is kind of like a second home. When you come here, it's just, and they're always going to do this because, like I said, they're always going to, like, for instance, like the espresso martini in the back. You can put anything in that back. That's incredible, though. It's like,
dude, I don't even want to go. I don't even know where to go from that because, yeah, from where we've come from,
we're always going to be here. I mean,
yeah,
but the model,
the
that
thing,
the
consistency,
the brand, and
hiring
Great.
people.
Yeah, y'all got a brand here now.
The whole
Yeah,
thing is
it's a
the
brand.
branding and hiring people that love the product that you serve, and that's a whole different thing, man.
Yeah.
You gotta hire people that love what you're doing, and you gotta hire that same vibe. Because when we're not here and they don't create the same product, then you have a problem.
Yeah,
They're not
especially in
leaving
South
the newspaper
Mississippi.
on the door, you know.
It's about relationships down
Yeah.
here.
And that's what we tell. The first thing we ask people is, can you create this vibe? Are you going to create this vibe? If we hire you, or when you sit behind that counter, are you gonna know people's coffee when they?
and are you going to wear an apron?
And you wear an apron, yeah.
You're gonna wear apron, you're
Are
gonna
you
get
gonna
paid?
be cool?
Are you gonna be a cool person?
That's a
Should I-
freaking great question.
It is.
Be
Somebody,
cool.
Like, are you weird?
Are you gonna make
Are
it?
you gonna make my life
suck?
weird?
I mean,
If I'm not
No.
here, are you gonna
Are you-
create the same environment?
Yeah.
And I think that is a great question.
Every one of them is like, things don't have to suck. They don't.
This job doesn't have
I mean,
to
like-
suck. I think we're some of the best
there's
bosses that you
things
can
that
have.
suck,
No,
but
it's-
every day doesn't have to suck.
Yeah.
This is an easy thing to do. All you have to do is make this job cool, make this environment cool,
Yeah.
and everything will be cool. People will tip you good.
4 boys.
4 boys.
Or
We got 4 boys.
What's the age deficit? What's
Two-
we got?
two.
13, we have a 13-year-old. Ezra turns 11 next week, and then we have a 6, and then
two,
JoJo's 2.5.
2.5.
You know, and so and then hopefully we're gonna get pregnant this week.
We are
Happy
trying.
Mother's Day.
We're trying.
I'm making the
Thank
herbs.
you.
Dude, you're creating the herbs.
Yeah, yeah,
We're trying
yeah. I mean, like
for the caboose.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're already kind of in the trenches with the baby. You know, we are blessed that we have the resources to be able to afford a kid, another
Yeah.
one, and we have the time to be able to, you know, like
Yep.
flexibility. You know, that's another thing, flexibility and having freedom to be able to invest time into your babies. And I've learned being a dad. You know, Roman and Joseph get such a better version of me than my kids did because you know, when you're young, you're like, you know, got your ego and your pride, and as you get older,
parents in age.
yeah, I've learned I'm just such a better dad now because I'm much more patient, and I don't discipline a discipline. I'm trying to discipline with intention because I'm looking for an outcome long term. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so versus just saying, don't do this. And she's helped me too because she's so calm. And, you know, Roman, our 6-year-old, is the best human on the planet, you know. So he's easy. He's like that. He's like having like a little, just, I don't know, like a little angel walking. I mean, he just loves people, man, and just makes people, everybody he's going to make you smile. Like if you have a bad
Yeah,
day,
he melts you.
yeah, he's just got such a cool spirit, man. And now Joseph, he's a menace, you know, but he's funny and he's cute and he's tough, you know.
It's really cool because Sean hasn't missed one milestone for the baby because he came in whenever Joseph was like 12 weeks old. So he saw, you know, the first rollover, the first crawl, the first steps. He heard the first words, like he's been there for everything. And I observed him as a dad. You know, I already knew him as a business person. Like I knew him and I knew his character. But when we started dating and I really got to see him like as a dad, obviously it was a big thing for me because I'm looking for a partner, but I'm also looking for a daddy, you know? And after I was able to observe that and just like, you know, keeping my fingers crossed that this thing was going to work out. I remember we went to Target and we must have even been together 6 weeks, and we go to Target and we split up. I'm looking for what I need. He's just go shopping. And I ask him if he can come here because I need an opinion on something that I'm looking at. And he's got this $400 car seat just in his hand. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I need a car seat. I'm like, for what? He goes, you know, for the baby, for my truck. I'm like, this dude's in. We're 6 weeks into dating. He wants to be like, he's taking this like dad thing very serious. Because we had known each other for so long.
I know what's needed. You know, like I know I'm gonna probably end up having to pick up the baby, so I need to make sure that I got the appropriate equipment to do that safely.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. To me, it was common sense. To her, it was like a big deal, you know. But yeah, it's been wild, man. It happened fast, and it's but it didn't happen fast. It's like it was supposed to happen, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, a $400 baby seat, you have to have them nowadays because the shit they have now,
It's garbage.
oh,
I remember she had messaged me about coming over to hang out with her, and I didn't respond right away, you know.
Let me lay this real fast for 30 seconds. So we had been, texting for like a week, just like straight, just talking. And then all of a sudden I invite him to come over and he doesn't respond for 4 hours straight. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's that about?
Nice.
The old fake ghost.
Nice.
I'm like, so then I'm like, I'm having all this insecurity and I'm going back in my head. I'm like, well, then what is going on? So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get a happy
So-
dad for this.
So this
Throw the
is-
phone on the silent.
So this is his side of the story. So this is
Not really.
this is
What
his side. What
Please,
happened?
sir.
What happened was,
Okay.
I just felt like, to be honest with you, that I knew that she was looking for. I know Christine, and I know she's not looking for a boyfriend or a good time. She's looking for a husband and looking for a daddy and them boys. In my head, I was like, I needed to make sure I was like, if I go over there and we're gonna hit it off, because I know Christine, I know her personality, I know, she's everything you could ever want in a partner. She's beautiful, but she's talented, but she's just easy to talk to, and so and she's gonna make you feel 10 foot tall and bulletproof, which is every guy's dream in a woman, and
This is why you
so when I went in there, I was just kind of like, I don't want to go in there unless I'm like, I need to be ready to make a commitment in my head. Like, I know that sounds wild, but I kind of knew that if I went there, that I would go back, so I was like, yeah, I needed to make sure that I was like, okay, I'm ready to walk through this potential door, because I know that, I have so much respect for her family, so much respect for her parents. It was bigger than just like going on a date with some girl from town. Like, it was bigger to me than that. It was more of like, I have so much respect for her. I wouldn't go on a date unless I was truly considering like her as a potential like partner in life. And I know that sounds weird that you would think about that, but I was thinking like that in that time, because I know her and I know her family, and I know she ain't looking to go hang out.
What was his pickup line on the text?
Oh, mine?
Yours or his?
Mine. Okay. Well, I just invited. So it was New Year's Eve. And we had been, like I said, talking for a few days. We had done yoga like a few times. We had seen each other, but we were just friends. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, hey, I know you don't really get out much. He would only see me at the gym. And every time he would be like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I wasn't okay. And I just saw the panic in my eyes. And he was like, look, a bunch of us from D'Iberville do yoga every now and then. You should just come. So like we had seen each other, but Sean and I were always platonic for 17 years. You know what I mean? Like, just friends. And so neither one of us really knew that either one of us were interested in the other one, both just thinking like, well, we're just being friends and we're just sitting here and chilling and talking. And so, but we had both kind of like, I guess, hinted at it a little bit. So I just like took the leap, and it was New Year's Eve. And I was like, Mom, Dad, can y'all watch the boys? And I'm living next door to my parents. I had bought the house next door. And I'm like, can you just watch the boys for like 2 hours? Can I just bring the boys over for 2 hours? And I just asked him if he wanted to just come talk and come hang out. And that's whenever he just left me on red for like 4 freaking hours.
Yeah.
And then he canceled all his plans and shows up in my door.
Yeah.
And the rest was history.
Huh?
I'm gonna flip it. You figured all that out in 4 hours.
The old
Yeah.
trick of the book.
Whoa, how was that? Were you like pacing?
No,
What were you doing? You
she
walking
messaged
around?
me, and
No, he was sitting there and he knew what he
I
was
had
doing.
plans potentially, and I was just kind of like, man, like, if I go over there, this is like,
4 hours radio silence there. Like nothing.
No,
4 hours. Yeah, red.
nothing.
All right, so were you pacing?
He wasn't
I
doing
just remember
shit.
that
He was
day.
sitting on the couch like,
No, I was
watching a
I
movie.
Was, I was like kind of preoccupied that day with other things. I think I might have even had the boys with me in that morning.
Yeah.
And then I dropped him off. Like, so, like, I believe that might have been a thing, but I just remember like going, like, really kind of when I was driving in a car, she sent me a message, and I just was like, and I was like, yeah, this is more than probably just going over there and having a drink. Like, she's trying to figure out. I didn't know she really liked me until that moment.
Everybody at Micah, this is good shit.
I didn't know
Good.
she liked me until that moment. So I didn't really have any idea. We were just texting, because you got to understand, she was one of my agents, so we spoke as friends.
And he had already been over to my house to rewrite my new policy, right? Because my policy had paid out. So he had already come to the house as a new
It was
client.
like, hey, do you want to come over for a bit?
She was like, hey, how about sharing that glass? It was like she on the phone.
Oh, share a glass of wine?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
No, hold on. I remember. So I sent him a bottle of wine. And he says, save me a glass. And I said, well, why don't you come over and have one with me?
Ooh.
That's spicy, bro.
That's what it was.
That's romantic.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, nothing. And I was like, well, never mind it.
I know, and I was like, dang, she just asked me on a date. And I don't know if I read it right then, but I just remember thinking like I needed to be.
You left it on.
Do you have red's on or off?
No,
I don't think he had red text.
Red's on or off?
Oh, you left it red?
No.
She has red on me. I mean, like I have.
We do now, but we didn't then.
But I don't have that for everybody.
Mm.
Because everybody be pissed off.
Well, guys, I want to say thank y'all so much. Part 2's coming up. This.
We gotta have a part 2.
Yeah, this is amazing.
It's there's a lot of details in our story.
Like
We didn't even touch the surface.
Dr. Phil, a little bit of Dr. Drew, a little bit of Dr. Maybe not so much Phil.
But that, like you said, that is a romantic situation, and you took the leap, and now you're here.
Yeah.
And y'all are both working y'all's ass off together and hitting goals, and
Yeah, it's kind of been seamless for us. Like, we get along pretty much. The only thing we worry about is getting more time together. So tomorrow we're taking off. We got a condo down in 30A at Seaside, and we're gonna spend 3 or 4 days together, uninterrupted, with no crumb snatchers running around tagging at your tail. So we're pretty excited because this is the first time we've been alone for about 8 months since we were in Reno.
You going on vacation tomorrow?
Yeah, we leave in the morning. Yeah.
Pensacola, is that what you said?
No, we're gonna go to Seaside. 30A.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go down there, play a little golf,
Cool.
eat some food.
there you go.
Cool, man.
Anthony, where are we at? Like your OS 1515, what's the opening day? Where can people go check out your place?
Well, I guess tentatively they can come in there tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning's we're opening at 8.
It's a soft opening. So I guess me announcing it doesn't
We should
make
swing
it
in
very
there and
soft.
They're not launching it, but if you're watching this podcast, you can go in there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Check it out. Get some coffee.
Okay.
It's supposed to be open.
When y'all think y'all gonna hit the normal hours?
The following
Should be
day?
Thursday.
Following day?
There's a lot that I'm pissed about. I won't talk about, but I mean, like this location will also be open. There's a lot of confusion. The mothership 1301 right here. We're running 2 locations, 2 blocks from each other. That's because they were going to do coffee down there anyway, and we're going to sell coffee both places. So everything's the same, and the renovations here are still underway. We're going to open a bar, 2nd level, wraparound balcony. But the whole time, 1515 food hall location will be open. This will be open until we give you guys notice. So,
And y'all got a bomb. When y'all set up is y'all did it right.
Down there, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's
man.
gonna be nice. Super functional too.
So do y'all look out on the district social media, and then you keep them posted?
yeah,
Yep,
every
yep.
location is open. Pascagoula, 1301 location on
Yep.
government, 1515 location on government.
Oxford coming
We're
soon.
looking at Oxford
We gonna be
coming
neighbors.
soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you guys so much, and we what do we got Thursday on the pod? I know
I've been cooking chicken.
I can't remember, but I'll post that tomorrow.
Well, it's right over there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we're gonna go out on our intro. The intro. Oh. This is it right here, right?
It's Johnny,
I kind of like holding.
Music by Loud. Magnolia Room Speakeasy. Airbnb bosses. Drinks. Shout out to John. DirectAuto. Go see Michael West. Collision Depot. They will fix and repair to the highest standard. The District Coffee Company, downtown Ocean Springs, and the new location, Pascagoula. Captain Al's, Gulfport, Mississippi. Go see Stacy and Bert.
New iPhone, home, auto, motion, builders, wits, and life excellence.
Join our podcast with McCade, Hibbert, and